Moscow. We have a saying in Russia, Stanislav Cherchesov had told reporters from behind his fearsome mustache Saturday afternoon. Anyone, said Cherchesov, the coach of Russia's World Cup team, can be a god if he tries. Russia goalkeeper Igor Akinfeev makes the shootout save that put the hosts in the World Cup quarterfinals. Victor R. Cavano, the Associated Press. The statement, a day before Russia would play Spain in the World Cup's round of 16, was both pushback and premonition. Cherchesov knew what everyone was thinking, that his Russian team, the lowest ranked in the field, had surpassed expectations as the host of the World Cup, but would surely reach the end of the line when it took on Spain, a former world and European champion. But Cherchesov seemed to know better. He thought his team had more to give. And he was right. In a stunning upset, Russia eliminated Spain on penalty kicks, 4-3, after a 1-1 tie Sunday that extended through 90 minutes of regulation and 30 minutes of extra time. Article continued below. The long day finally ended when the Russian goalkeeper, Igor Akinfeev, kicked away Iago Aspas' fifth penalty attempt for Spain after Russia had converted its first four. The Russians had been dominated throughout the game, but a penalty kick by Artem Dzyuba before halftime allowed them to tie the score at 1-1, and a gritty, disciplined, defensive effort ultimately led to the penalty shootout, and to a result that many had considered unthinkable. Cherchesov and Russia now have any number of players to toast as they begin to look ahead to their next game, on Saturday in Sochi, Russia, where they will play the winner of the Croatia-Denmark game in the quarterfinals. One hero, for sure, is Akinfeev, who saved 2 of Spain's 5 penalties. Then there is Dzyuba, who created and then converted the penalty that drew Russia level in a game in which it appeared comically overmatched at times. And maybe Sergei Ignashevich, the 38-year-old center-back, who was drafted into the World Cup late in Russia's preparations. He has played every minute of this tournament, and he provided the 5-man defensive backline he anchored with the leadership and the structure to hold off Spain again and again. It's an incredible feeling, midfielder Alexander Golovin said. To be honest, I do not even know what to do right now. We are in some kind of dream, a fairy tale. To say Russia played Spain to a draw was technically true. But in reality Spain played and Russia chased for most of the match inside the cavernous Luzhniki Stadium, with Spain content to keep possession of the ball after an early goal and Russia, well, content to let Spain have it. For 10, 15, 20 passes at a stretch, Spain worked the ball around the field at will, a game of keep away disguised as a World Cup elimination match. The pro-Russian crowd whistled its disapproval early and repeatedly, and urged its team on with all its might whenever it managed, even briefly, to steal the ball away from the Spaniards. But Spain, inevitably and repeatedly, simply took the ball back and kept it. We knew that Spain would play the ball in the match and leave it to them. We were prepared for this, Golovin said. We knew that we would keep them as far away from the penalty area as possible. Article continued below. Spain was so dominant in the first half that it nearly made it to halftime with a 1-goal lead despite taking no shots. Its opening goal came off the right ankle of Ignashevich, who unwittingly scored this World Cup's 10th own goal, a record total that continues to increase, as he fell to the ground while tangling with Spain's Sergio Ramos on a free kick in the 12th minute. Staked to the early lead it sought, Spain continued to pass and Russia continued to chase. The game quickly devolved into a high-stakes training session. And then, in the 40th minute, everything changed. Russia won a corner, Alexander Semedev fired it in and Dzyuba headed it directly onto the arm of Spain's Gerard Piqué, who for some reason had jumped to challenge him with his back turned and one arm over his head. The Dutch referee, Bjorn Kuipers, called a handball. Dzyuba buried it past David De Gea, and just like that, Russia, and its crowd, came to life. Russia had ridden that kind of full-throated support right through its first 3 games at the tournament. Its maximum effort and early success, 2 victories in its first 3 games, had quickly got its countrymen on board, easing fears that the tournament might be an afterthought for the host country if the Russian team exited early. Dzyuba's goal seemed to revive those fans Sunday, and let them think victory might just be possible. The start of the second half was more even, and the free kicks and corners Russia won, with increasing frequency, soon began to create 2 and 3 half chances before Spain forced the ball clear. Spain still ruled the statistics. It completed 1,029 passes to Russia's 202 by the end of the match, but it stubbornly refused to adjust its style even after it became clear Russia would not yield. It had good chances, a long-range shot by Andres Iniesta in the second half, a dangerous run by the substitute Rodrigo in the second extra period, but the goal never came. Having reached the penalty kick shootout, Russia seized its chance and finished the job. Fyodor Smolov, then Ignashevich, then Alexander Golovin, then Russia's Denis Cheryshev, Elvit De Gea. Akinfeev did the rest, stopping Koke on Spain's third attempt and Aspas on the fifth. Cheryshev, the coach, watched none of it, banking his emotions for what's to come. "I believe this is only the beginning," he said, "so I have to save my emotions for the future." He did not join the celebrations as Akinfeev kicked the ball high into the air with his trailing foot to seal the victory. That was for the players, who dogpiled their goalkeeper as the crowd of 78,011 made a sound louder than any heard yet at this World Cup. Those fans will get at least one more chance to cheer their heroes.